Just been drinking coffee. Chris is gonna print that, but that was not as bad. There we go. Rescue.
Good afternoon, or good evening, I guess. Glad you all are here for our city council meeting. Before we begin, we will have our invocation from Pastor Greg Hurley, accomplished singer, actor from the Solid Rock Church of Oak Hill, followed by the pledge.
Thank you, Mayor. I would real briefly like to say that I apologize for not making the last council meeting. I had some visitors that stayed a little longer than expected. So, but it's good to be here tonight. And I know Mr. Gill's already passed these out. We just want you to know that our church is we take a month and pray for certain things. And this month we are praying specifically for this city. So every week there's something that about 300 folks are praying for this city. All right, because prayer works. Let's bow our heads and pray. Mighty God, we come before you this evening asking prayer for this city. I pray for every leader in position, our mayor, each city council member, and all others in authority. I pray that they would rule justly and with godly wisdom. I pray for strength and blessings for them. May they be led by your Spirit, seeking your will while serving the common good. Grant them integrity and courage to act justly and with compassion as they make decisions that affect the welfare of our community. We pray for their physical and mental well-being, that they may have the strength and resilience to carry out their responsibility. In the name of Jesus, I bind the forces of evil from operating over the political scene of this city. I take dominion over Satan, commanding him to take his hands off the city's government, its economy, and the social scene that we're dealing with today that's trying to invade our land. Lord, we also pray for the peace and prosperity of our city and its citizens. Let it flourish under your loving care, and may your light shine brightly across every corner of this community, bringing healing and restoration. And we ask all these things in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Hurley. I now call to order City Council meeting, Oak Hill, West Virginia, May 12th, 2025. Our city manager will now do our roll call.
Mayor Charles Briscoe.
Here.
Council at large.
Here.
Who is it?
Not his name. Councilors from Ward 1, Terry Van Buskirk,
Here.
Roger Evans.
Here.
Diana Janey. Here. Councilors from Ward 2, Tim Buskus.
Here.
PJ Elder.
Here.
Chris Gill.
Here.
Thank you very much. You've all read the minutes in your packet. If we may have a motion to approve and accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the reading and approval of the minutes.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor? All opposed? The motion is carried. Let's do the same for the treasurer's report. Anyone?
I move to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the treasurer's report as presented. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion. Got you.
Yes.
Thank you. The ayes have it. Correspondence.
No.
No correspondence. Okay, we now move to our portion where we have our citizens' comments. Up first is former council Charles Smallwood. Good to see you, sir.
I promise I'll be brief.
Good.
First, I would like to thank the council for allowing me the extra time in the March meeting to express my concerns. At this time, I would like someone to give me an update on the items, or questions, or comments on the things that were mentioned, that I mentioned in the March meeting. At the end of the March meeting, there was an issue about things not completed in previous years. I say if a council have a majority vote on an issue or a project, whose responsibility is it to see that it is done? If you do not know the answer, check section 12 of the charter. This council was a result of the 2023 city election. And I'm speaking about the demolition of the school in Harlem Heights. It was brought to our attention in September 2023 that was structured unsound. In January, it was supposed to have been demolished under the REAP program, but the city manager said he didn't meet the deadline. February, it was awarded. May, delegation came up and asked for help. Now, to my knowledge, no other person or organization has been told to demolish their building. The church, what little money they had, they paid for the demolition of the building. And I requested maybe the council could reimburse for that. And also, I think in the meeting of February 2024 meeting, the mayor stated that we should revisit the Meadow Bridge situation. That hasn't happened yet. And due to a lengthy discussion on the budget in January 2025, a 4-2 vote, February, 3 members opposed the treasury report. There's money set aside for the Percy Park in Mendon, the Harper monies, the opioid monies, and the REAP grant, and the recent settlement fund that I saw in the picture being of $15,000. And with a new city manager coming on board, I think the city council should enact section 18 of the charter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smallwood.
You might have. Apparently.
Anyone have any responses or answers for Mr. Smallwood? Or comments for Mr. Smallwood? Council? Norma, Travis? You present?
I'm here. You go over there.
Please,
Okay. Okay, well, that might take me a minute then.
that's fine.
I got it. I'm one of those teachers. I really don't need this mic because I have to use my teacher voice. You can hear me. Anyway, I'm here to back up Mr. Smallwood. I'm from Community Restoration Worship Center in Oak Hill, where we did have our building demolished. It was told, they did a survey of it and everything and said it could not be repaired, so it had to be demolished. Now, our church is a small church. We don't have a lot of congregation there, but we did raise enough money to get it torn down. With the demolition and the removal of it, it came to probably about $26,000. But the thing of it is there's still a foundation there that was not removed either. So that needs to be removed, and that's gonna be another 10 plus, you know, the trash company, whatever you call it, that would remove the debris once it's torn down. Well, you know, we were asking for, like you said, if we could be reimbursed or if we could be helped out in some kind of way to get that foundation torn down, or, you know, where we already paid out the money, if we could be reimbursed or something like that. I don't know how that works, but I mean, if you don't ask, you never know. You can either say yes or no. So we were just requesting that. Thank you.
Thank you. As you guys know, my role here is limited. We do have a city manager style of government, but we will discuss it as a group. And hopefully we can get back to you as soon as possible and let you know what we might be able to do to help.
Thank you.
That'll hold you for a couple of minutes. So, all right, folks, thank you very much. We're gonna move on to unfinished business. Our city manager advertisement hiring decision and the time frame to review resumes and conduct interviews.
Um, so far, I have 54 applications for city manager. And that is not all of them. I just haven't got to them all yet. So what I would like to do is have a meeting for you all to go through and decide who you want to interview. They're not due until May 23rd, but I thought if we could meet that week, we could at least get that done and start having people come in for interviews. And then if I get any from the time we meet until the 23rd, we can add those in at a different time. I'm trying to work out a way with Tyler's help for you all to be able to look at those online and instead of printing all those off. So we'll work on that and let you know where you can maybe look at them beforehand. I can weed those out for you. And I will separate them, which ones, because we have a lot that do not qualify for the job and that you can easily tell that they do not qualify for the job. So, I'll still let you look at them, but I can put those in different. So you want to go ahead and pick a date? I'd like to pick one the week of, May 19th. Somewhere during that week. Monday or Tuesday? We're having a building commission meeting on the 19th. So we can, unless you want to go after that, that meeting shouldn't last too long. The building commission. It's on the 19th, so if you want to pick the 20th or that Thursday.
I can't that Thursday. I won't be in town.
What about the 20th?
20th work for everyone?
So yeah, next Tuesday.
May 20th at 6.
Item number 2, thank you, Denise. Update from the building commission regarding the BB&T bill.
Okay, so. We have it on the screen, but I'll read the email that Leanne sent. This month has been slow. We have received calls, but no in-person showings. The broker from Nicholas County has reached out and let me know that she still anticipates an offer. They have requested multiple items, which we've provided. I reached out to her again this morning and she says that an offer will be coming soon. It is normal on commercial properties to take this long in receiving an offer. While the financing is available, investors will make a business plan and look for additional investors to lessen the burden. The recent spike in building materials has changed the contractor quotes also to include allowances instead of set numbers, which is a little intimidating to an investor and forces them to find partners. I'm meeting with the building commission on May 19th to talk over lowering the price and marketing strategies. So that was from Leanne.
What is the price at right now?
$650.
The bank is 900.
90-some thousand.
Yeah, I think we've paid some down on it. But it's still pretty close to $1 million.
Thank you, Rita. Any questions? All right, number 3, unfinished business discussion and possible decision concerning downtown historical designation.
I thought Allison was gonna be here. Are you speaking for her?
I can't, yeah.
Okay, come on up.
Good evening, gang. Robert Love. I am on the group with Allison that's been looking at this. It's a wonderful opportunity, comes with a lot of pros. We had a really positive meeting last week. I think it was last week, might have been where they came and walked us through it and showed all the possibilities of what this entails and dispelled a lot of the myths and fears that people had. So we're 2 thumbs up, and everyone that I've talked to that was involved is also.
And they were very informative. And that meeting is on YouTube that
Yep.
you can look at if you all want to watch it and see what they said. The next step that we will need to make, or that the group would make, I guess we would be making it the council, is to hire a consultant that can do the work on finding which buildings would fall into the designation and have a meeting for the owners and and more than 50% have to be in favor. So what they do is we'll have a public meeting and let all the owners know, and they get good notification. And then if they don't show up to oppose, they're in favor of it. So that's how they figure out if there's enough to go on or not. And we do have money in the TIF account that has to be used for the TIF district, but cannot be used for improving somebody's property. So this would be a good use of that money.
So that meeting, it spells out the pros and cons.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and a lot of the fears, people have fears that if you get a historical designation, that really limits you to what you can do. And as it turns out, that was mostly myth. There are very few limitations. There's a lot of positive tax incentive upside and tax rebate possibility upside, which makes a lot of our downtown properties much more attractive for investors and people that can pour some money in. Brings them back closer to profitability, which is the big catch. The amount of money it's going to take to rehab some of these downtown buildings is substantial.
And it will help them get grants to do facade.
Yep.
Renovations.
Yeah,
and-
renovation, restoration,
Right.
but it's not required. It's all at the owner's discretion. So that was one of the big hiccups. People were worried, oh, this is going to require us to, it doesn't require them to do anything, but it helps if they would want to.
The only restrictions they have is what council would put on them. If you would decide you want some kind of certain way for that district to look, then that's the only restrictions that there to. And so right now, there's none on it.
Right.
On that district. And they would also tell us how far the district should be. So it may not be the whole length of, we were kind of thinking from the library to the bridge, but it may not be that long. And it could be mostly commercial instead of taking in some residential properties.
And they can carve out too, the buildings that wouldn't qualify.
Right.
The zone, you can draw the lines however they need to be drawn.
I understood it had to be like
It's got to be a continuous, so you can't have like a gap. So we couldn't start here and then pick up in East End. It's got to be one continuous district, but you can draw the boundary of that district. Like if there were one building on Main Street that didn't meet the year requirements, I think all of ours on the main drag of Main Street meet. That building would just get drawn around and excluded, like Wendy's. Wendy's would not meet. You know.
Buildings across the street
Everything
would.
across the street, the post office, the gas station, those all would. So you would just draw around Wendy's. And it would be near the designation, but not included in it.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Love. Also, I understand you're an accomplished beatboxer too. I saw that video.
No, it wasn't bad for a first timer.
Not at all.
So I would like for you to, if you want to see this go forward, to give us permission to use that TIF money. There's about, it's less than 50,000 in there right now. It's about 34,000, I think.
And that would be for like streetscaping things, not.
That would be for the study.
Oh.
That would be for the study to
Prepare all the paperwork.
get everything
Get
ready.
the designation.
Yes. Now, we don't know how much it's gonna cost. Yeah.
Do we have an idea of what the
No.
study?
No, and they didn't give us one either.
And
I
they're-
don't recall one at all.
They didn't, but they did mention there are, the name is escaping me. There are regional grants available when you get to that step. So after you have this step, there are grants available that we can apply for that step.
Right.
But we are limited on how. we use them. But that would be.
Yes, we're limited on how, it has to be something that would help the whole, or would apply to the whole district. So unless you were fixing everybody's property, which I don't know if you can do everybody's, but
So the consultant would help establish if 50% or more. Okay, so we have to do it before we actually know
if we can, go,
if
yes.
you can go forward.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
We don't have no sort of an estimate of what that's gonna cost.
I mean, if it's less than what's in that account, if it's more than what's in that account, we just have to come back and or start from zero, somehow get some other money. Back to,
Does anybody know what they charged in another location or?
they didn't give us that information.
I
I mean, we could find that out
Okay.
and.
Yeah, I can speak to the one they did down in, Oak City and Charleston. For that designation was $90,000. That's substantially larger than ours, and that was the whole process. And they did receive, name that I can't remember, they received that grant. I'm gonna say it wrong, it's like the Appalachian Regional Commission, or, that's not the right name, but one of the groups, this is kind of what their grant money is focused towards.
Which, I mean, it's hard to write a blank check, you know what I mean?
You want-
That's-
Well, it stops at 34,000, whatever's in the account.
That's what I'm saying.
We
We're
can
sitting here
get
just
some-
fixing
I
to
can
give you
try to
a.
get some more concrete information. If you want to table till next month, we can work on that.
Okay, I'll move to table this item until a quote is received from the consultant.
I'll
Second that.
We have,
Yeah,
a-
second.
we have a motion and several seconds to table the downtown historical designation. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you, guys. Number 4, new business. Decision regarding franchise renewal for Altice Cable Television franchise in Oak Hill, West Virginia.
So it's time to renew our franchise with the cable company. They do collect 5% of a 5% franchise fee on cable services. And that it works out to be about 100,000 a year, and this is just the normal renewal that I think everybody is getting about this.
You have any other choices? They're the one.
Yeah, they're the ones that pay us the franchise fee. I mean, the customers have other choices. They just don't like to.
So we're receiving money.
Yes, well, they send us an application fee, but each quarter we get, like I said, it's about 25,000, close to that each quarter.
I would make a motion to accept the renewal for.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to renew the Altice Cable Television franchise. All those in favor? All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Number 5, negotiations and possible decision regarding purchase of property. That would be out in the industrial. Okay.
Mayor, I'll move that we move item number 5 to the end of the meeting and go to department reports at this time.
I don't think we'll need to actually do a vote on it. We can just move. All right, guys, if you will give me a motion to accept the police report, fire department report. Josh, did you have anything to say about parks? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
And the parks and recreation reports as one, we'll do that, and then we'll get our MS4 report. We don't have MS4 tonight, so if we can get a motion to accept those 3 reports.
Mayor, the fire chief has got just one quick thing I think he wants to
Yes, sir.
address this one.
Chief, go ahead.
I'd like to inform the council that we have received a MOU memorandum of understanding from the county commission in regard to a draft, I will call it, not a finalized product, but a draft in regard to engine replacement, fire engine replacement. We were chosen, one of 3 departments in the county that was chosen to be eligible for engine replacement. That will be to the tune of $800,000 for this levy year, fire levy year, 4 years. So I've distributed that draft MOU to the city manager. We're going to discuss that with the city attorney and then bring a product back to the council for your final determination. But we haven't agreed, but we're in the process of discussing this to pass forward, make sure we have a solid agreement to receive this funding. And we also received notification of our operational fees from the county commission at the same time. And city manager has that too. She can forward that to everyone for you to review. But that'll be coming forward, hopefully, that we will be doing an engine replacement possibly in the near future.
What do you all do with the old engines, just out of curiosity? Do you donate those to other departments in need, or they just kind of hold them for extras?
It depends. A lot of times if we, in the past, the city has, I mean, it's in the city of Oak Hills now. But they operate on the auspice of the recommendation from the fire department. We have donated engines in the past, but there's a real good market for used fire engines right now because of the cost of a new engine could be anywhere from $650,000 to over $1 million. So the used truck market is very, very good. So we would probably not make a determination now, but we would possibly put an engine up for sale.
Okay. I know you hit it on the head. You told me 2 years ago that it was gonna go up to about 800,000. You were right on that stuff.
The 800,000 from the county commission, how is that being dispersed to you guys?
That is in this memorandum of understanding. It is in a draft right now, and honestly, I don't like the idea of the way the draft was created. That's something that we will discuss with city manager, city attorney, and the council. We want a really good, solid agreement before we move. That's coming, though. I just wanted to inform you where we are regarding that.
And our city attorney does have it. He
If you got any questions, contact me, contact Demita. We're glad to, hopefully, in the near future, we having a hammered out product that we can send back. That's all I've got. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, Demita has informed me that she does have an MS4.
Now's the time of the year when people start filling up pools. And so I just want to remind everybody that we do not give pool adjustments for the water used. And when you drain your pools, it should go into your clean out or somehow to get into our sewer system. And not on our streets. It should not be drained. Your pool shouldn't be drained coming down the street.
So flood your neighbors.
Or flooding your neighbors, yes.
Well, we may have a motion to accept all the reports.
I'll make that motion.
May we have a second?
I'll say that.
We have a motion and a second to accept the police report, fire department report, parks and recreation, and MS4 reports. All those in favor? All opposed? Yeah, did we get one day? All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion is carried. Any council comments?
Yes. I got 3 things.
That's fine. You got 3 minutes.
Okay. I had someone come meet me at the bank today that had some concerns about the BZA, if I'm saying it right. Wanting to know how we could get alternate members. Not all of them are present when there is a meeting. Meetings get canceled. Then they're called to come in on a short notice, and then not enough people are here to have a meeting. Need some organization revision, like they meet here, but there wasn't anybody here to let them in, so they scrambled around to get someone to let them in. But if there was some way to advertise, if anybody in the community would be interested in being on this committee. And some of the members are just not present any of the time, so how do we address that? That's one.
Well, most of that happened over last week because we're hunting still for a zoning officer. I have been doing interviews for that position. That should alleviate a lot of those issues about someone not being here to open because the zoning officer will be here. Also, we do have alternate members.
Okay.
So sometimes they can come and sometimes they can't. We don't know if we need them until right before the meeting. So that's sometimes hard to do. Most of those members have been showing up for the meetings. I mean,
I just
sometimes,
took minutes today.
sometimes they don't, but most of the time they're able to be.
Second thing, I had some people approach me Friday night, how we could get an ordinance for our town, like anything that touches Main Street, your primary Main Street, Central, Jones. They travel around to all these other cities and they just seem to be neater, cleaner. So I don't know if they have ordinances in place to make you accountable for your business storefront, or if you have a home on Main Street, it's few, but to make them more presentable, do we have anything that allows for that? And can we do that?
I think a lot of that's pride in your own business and your home. I mean,
There is city ordinances that go for that in the city codes. There is code enforcement for that.
but they can meet code and it's still not gonna make, some people still may not think that's neat.
We just passed an ordinance too. It's just been 2 months ago, I believe.
About, yes, Bill.
About
The windows being boarded.
Right.
Every one of them still has a board on it too.
Ain't nothing been done with them
I've
either.
just gotten that list together to send out letters. So I had to find the property owners, get their names and addresses.
All these people are listening tonight, so I just want to make sure I brought all that up. And the third
I mean,
thing,
it would also be good if you think of business, if you go by and it doesn't look good, tell them that you don't think that they need to do something. I mean, that's how you get the word out to a business owner, I think, is either you don't stop there or, I mean, we can send letters and say, I don't even know if we can say sweep sidewalks, but
Actually, I think that's the way that states, isn't it, Bill?
I'm sorry.
Is that it's the storefront, the store owner's job to keep storefront and sidewalks clear of weeds, debris, and gravel, whatever is not supposed to be in the front. It is to the store owner to keep that storefront that way. And the only reason why I know that is because when I worked at Tractor Supply, we got hammered all the time because of weeds. Every spring, we had to go out there and start cutting weeds that are growing up by the curbs. I mean, it is what it is. It's part of owning a business in the city.
So who would enforce that?
code enforcement officer.
As soon as we get him hired?
No,
You know her?
that's, we have code enforcement officer.
Okay. The last thing, but it's good, we had a beautification committee meeting Friday night. We had 6 people in attendance. Went well. Everything's moving. There'll be flowers. They're going to spruce up the dog park. Signage out there on the 4-lane. Some ladies are going to get together and do that. And Jason is going to do a Facebook challenge for cleanup. Like the month of July, everybody, businesses, if you own a home here in the town, we're gonna do a challenge for a June cleanup. So maybe we can speak to the business owners at that time. That's all. Thank you.
You also forgot about the garden. You were gonna extend it
A
about
community
4
garden. Yeah, they're gonna do the community garden again out here.
Now, who does, you do the, Charlie, you guys handle the tilling, right? We're
And they
gonna
need
go
one
up
more
the hill about
car.
4 feet.
I just told him not to, I just told him not to do it because,
Here to do it yesterday.
yeah, that's,
You guys.
I didn't know we were having,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, if you are gonna do it, that's fine.
So they saw the plants also.
Who does?
Bonnie.
Oh, okay.
Is it too late to get them?
Wonderful. Any other council comments?
Mayor, I do. I've got a question, Mr. Smallwood. One couple of things that you had brought up. When you said who is responsible for carrying out, maybe you could help me understand what you were saying. Cause you said who is responsible for carrying out a council's decision with a majority vote. And then you said reference section 15 of the charter. Section 15 of the charter refers to the city attorney. No, that one was 15. That one was 15. That refers to the city charter. 18 was when he spoke about the city manager. At the end, if I'm correct on that.
I was talking about the majority vote,
Yes.
section 12.
Section 12. Okay. Powers and duties of the city manager. And I'm sorry if I misunderstood. I thought it was 15. Because I was just looking them up and I was like, how is that? So.
I was gonna ask those too, because I was writing, but my hand don't write as fast as you talk.
Last time they complained about me talking too slow.
I do have,
With the Percy Park, I think, I may stand, and I will stand corrected at any time, but I don't think they've ever come forth with an agreement to turn that land over.
They don't
Last
want-
time I talked with him down in Mendon with Percy, oh, it was just a couple of months ago. He said that they was going to get it, but nothing had ever still been done about that. That's,
But he told us in a meeting that they were not going to turn that over until the equipment was on there, and we are not doing equipment until it's turned over.
So we don't have a legal right to do it.
and he said he was going to get that turned over, but
But I was also talking about the money that has been set aside. Where is it?
It's not in the budget anymore because we haven't gotten
There was
anything.
money donated.
Who was it donated from?
I think it was $5,000 from. Got it here somewhere. I think the past economic coordinator got a grant for $5,000.
Not that I'm aware of. Unless there was just one that we could get when it started.
I don't know. It's-
When the very first economic development coordinator was here, she had started on a grant. And they said they would give us that grant when we started the work, but we never have done that.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I do want to recommend our police department. There was a thing put on Facebook there yesterday about a gentleman stealing a young boy's bike early in the morning, and our police department actually retrieved that bike the same day. So kudos to the police department.
Actually, the officer that gets first seen it or paid attention to it, I don't pay attention to Facebook. He seen it on Facebook and he wasn't even working, and then it kind of flew all over him, and he got dressed and went out and found the guy and brought him in and got the bike, and the guy's in jail now. But yeah, kudos to him especially for coming out.
Who was that? If you don't mind me asking.
Wilshire.
Really? Brian, thank you for being the police department people that we deserve.
I agree. Cause I made a call, my daughter's car was hit and run the street here, and for another time they had the lady and the gentleman did this. He had another car too, so with the cameras we talked, and I do appreciate taking care of that. The work they did.
If I may speak, I would like to thank the police department for putting those cameras at the park.
Anyone else? We'll move on to future agenda items.
Are there any items that Mr. Smallwood has brought up that you'd like on the agenda?
I would like to bring up, because he had brought up too, that it was actually brought up in council. And you had asked us if that's something that we wanted to move forward with, was the evaluations. I believe that that is something that needs to be done by the council.
Evaluations?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you structuring the evaluations? We would do.
A yearly evaluation. I mean, I know that the police department's every 6 months. How often do you do evaluations here? Yeah, I think that, yearly evaluations of the people that the council hires, I believe that that would be sufficient.
Oh, no, the council has the option to do my evaluation, the clerk's evaluation, police officers.
Well, just chiefs,
The chiefs, yes, those,
not him. It's just you, treasurer, yes, right?
and the judge, I guess.
Yeah, and the judge. But
Yes,
you
that
do
can be
your
done.
people's
That can be
evaluation.
done.
He does theirs.
Right, I guess we could do evaluations, we have not in the past because raises have never been tied to those. I mean, if somebody needs to up their game, then I talk to whoever it is whenever it happens, it's not. But as far as doing formal evaluations, we have not.
I just think that that might be something that might be actually helpful, especially with us getting a new city manager, and we just got a new city treasurer. I think that might be something that might actually help that along, and it'll actually let us be a little more involved.
Right on the agenda.
Can you put on there about cleanup town? We'll just make another plug, spruce up our city.
You guys do your,
I mean, if you're doing that challenge, that'll be.
did you do your litter sweep already, you and the church and the bank?
At the bank, we've already done ours, and the church done too. We maybe do on a couple more.
Anyone else? Any announcements?
Tonight, the Oak Leaf Festival is doing a fundraiser at El Banditos. So if you all would like to go there at the council meeting and have a meal, the Oak Leaf Festival gets 20%, I think, of the persons.
We have bingo for Oak Leaf on the second, I'm sorry, the seventh, the Fayetteville American Legion. And so tickets are $20, so you can reach out to anybody that you know that's affiliated with Oak Leaf.
The Rail Trail Expo is coming up in June too, first Saturday in June, I believe it is.
Same day.
sorry.
I think they're on the same day, actually.
Yeah.
So,
And, Mayor, I'd also like to, commend, Cafe 110. This past Saturday, they had a fundraiser for my granddaughter.
Mhm.
Everything that people bought, 20% went towards my granddaughter. And, so I want to thank Don Williams and them for that.
you should have told somebody, you know that, do you?
I didn't know about it until actually the day before and everything else that's going. I kind of get left in the dark a lot on a lot of things.
All right, folks, our next council meeting will be June the 9th. And if we may have a vote to close out and go into anticipate. And, our executive session.
I'll make a motion that we, close council and go do an executive session.
Second,
If I could say too, on the item under new business, negotiation and possible decision regarding purchase of property, anticipated executive session. Could we clarify that just a little bit?
There's a piece of property that we would like to purchase and the owner has offered a price and that needs to be discussed.
Can we, does the property owner mind if that's disclosed exactly where it's at?
I don't know. If she wants to,
Would you
but
feel comfortable talking about that while we're in the public session?
no.
Okay. Well, okay, the other thing I'd like to say is that negotiation of possible decision, if the consensus, not to vote, but consensus in the executive session is to purchase or to make a decision whether to purchase or not, that'll require a vote. We'll have to come back into session, so the meeting's not, the public part of the meeting is not necessarily over. So, okay, that's all I'm going to put in.
Yeah, feel free to stick around if you like, folks.
And, we would like to invite Chief Wiseman into the executive session, and so what
We'll speak on another matter. Personnel matter.
about personal.
We have a motion and a second to move into executive session. All those in favor? All opposed? Thank you. We are now in executive session. You guys here are welcome to stay. Don't wait too long. All right, we may have a motion to vacate our executive session and go back to our regularly scheduled session, please.
Mayor, I move that we, move back into regular session.
May we have a second?
Second that.
All right, well, Councilman Gill be back. See if you got to leave.
I'm sorry.
Did Councilman Gill leave?
Oh.
He'll be back. All right, we have a motion and a second to vacate our executive session, return back to our regular session. All those in favor? All opposed? Motion is carried. We now return to our regular scheduled sessions. So, tell us something. What you wanted to, all right, I'm gonna let you go. We could not come to a decision tonight on regarding the purchase of the property. We will be discussing this again on the 20th and hopefully by that time. So if there is no other business, we will consider our. No decisions will be made in an executive session about this purchase of this property. So now if we have no other business, then we shall consider ourselves adjourned. Everyone, thank you for coming.